Hi, I'm Jamie Miller, Registered SQF Consultant at Kellerman Consulting, and you're watching the Supplier Approval Program video series. Kellerman Consulting releases weekly training videos and important tips and strategies to help companies keep up to date with the latest food safety regulations. In the last episode, we discussed the foundation of supplier approval and the complications in establishing and maintaining a supplier approval list. In this episode, I will review basic classifications of suppliers and challenges with assessing these different types of operations for potential food safety hazards as part of the supplier approval process. The determination of food safety comes from understanding who made the material we are purchasing and what processes they used to make it. That should be easy enough, but as we set about purchasing the material, we frequently find that one or more companies may own or handle the materials prior to final purchase. It's fairly common for one company to oversee part of the manufacturing process and then ship the material to a second operation to complete required food safety actions. For example, this is something we see with spices that are shipped to an irradiation facility after initially being processed at the importing facility. Each step in the supply chain presents a chance for creating a food safety issue. Being aware of how many operations touch the material can help your food safety team understand the obvious and the not so obvious risks considered in the supplier risk assessments. Since each of the companies that interact with the materials before receipt in the facility poses a risk to food safety, it is required that the food safety team member responsible for collecting supplier documentation assess the food safety risks a supplier's product may introduce into another operation. When purchasing materials, you may be buying from the actual operation that made the material, but frequently ingredients are purchased from a third party, which limits the food safety information available at the time of purchase. In addition to manufacturers, you may also utilize co-manufacturers who manufacture or perform additional processes on behalf of the original manufacturer, such as the irradiation company from our previous example. Other types of suppliers you may encounter are brokers, agents, and importers. Brokers, agents, and importers are companies that buy and sell materials they do not manufacture themselves. These businesses are essentially middlemen between a food manufacturing facility and the ingredients they need. Agents, brokers, and importers play an important role for facilities with multiple ingredient manufacturers and when purchase minimums are not achievable for smaller businesses. Brokers purchase the materials and handle them through storage and distribution steps prior to final shipment to the manufacturer. Brokers take responsibility for the materials and can physically assess them upon receipt if required. In contrast, agents generally do not handle the materials and may never take custodial ownership, but instead facilitate the movement of materials from the original facility to the final destination. This is a common arrangement for imported materials. The definition of importers is the same as brokers and agents, except the term importers applies to foreign supplies. If you are a factory that imports, continue to think of yourself as a factory. Our foreign supplier verification programs episode will explain this process in further detail. When we discover that co-manufacturers, brokers, or agents are involved in the supply chain for a material, it is important to understand what information we need as part of the food safety assessment. The most important information will always come from the primary manufacturer. Where a co-manufacturer is involved, this should be made clear from the primary manufacturer in a flow chart or description of their manufacturing process. Any supplier that does not disclose co-manufacturing or co-packing in their communications or documents should be treated as medium to high risk after that discovery is made. When brokers and agents are part of the purchase of materials, it is very important that the name and location of the primary manufacturer is included in the assessment. Brokers or agents may try to present their documentation and certifications in the place of the manufacturer, but this is not acceptable as the food safety documents from a broker or agent will not be adequate in a recall or food safety investigation. Remember that a very safe broker or agent handling an unsafe material is simply unsafe no matter how good the documents are that the broker or agent provides. On the other hand, very safe materials handled by an unsafe broker or agent are also unsafe, no matter how careful the manufacturer of the materials is. Co-manufacturers, brokers, agents, and importers are an important part of the supply chain, and they are completely acceptable to use in a functioning supplier approval program. But here are some of the issues to pay special attention to when they are used. Brokers, agents, and importers sometimes have limited information regarding specific food safety concerns at the time of purchase. For example, if the manufacturer handles allergens, there is a possibility of cross-contamination or cross-contact occurring in their facility, something a broker or agent may not know, and it may take a significant amount of time to track that information down. Sometimes there is no information available from the agent or broker because they are too busy to respond to those requests. In situations where ingredients are purchased from a broker or other agent and the manufacturer is known, documents may be requested directly from the manufacturer. However, this can be a difficult process and is not recommended. Manufacturers are unlikely to provide information to your company if it is not listed as a customer, and the manufacturer may direct your inquiries back to the broker or agent. Therefore, whenever possible, always place document requests with the agent from whom you are directly purchasing the product. Lastly, facilities that have dual operations, which include both manufacturing and brokering or agent activities, may attempt to conceal or hide that they are not the manufacturer by changing the logo and address on a certificate of analysis while keeping the testing information accurate. While this is not an illegal practice, it can cause some serious problems when conducting supplier approval assessments. This practice is usually done to prevent customers from approaching the manufacturer and maintain the middleman arrangement. Any discovery of a broker, agent, or importer changing the document information to hide the true manufacturer should be rated as a high risk, even if they adjust their practices after discovery. Please do not rely solely on the information contained in this video series when creating your food safety program. It's important to ensure your food safety program meets all of the specific regulatory requirements associated with the product that you are manufacturing and certification schemes that your business has chosen. In our next episode of the Supplier Approval Series, we'll discuss regulatory requirements for supplier approval programs. Thank you for watching. To learn more, visit our website and you'll find a full library of food safety training videos and resources. You may also follow us on LinkedIn and click the bell to be notified of new resources as they are released each week.